I'm going to be ranking the top 6 mistakes that turn girls off. These are all mistakes that I've made myself and had to learn the hard way, so I'm going to be sharing them with you so you don't have to make them yourself. This first thing is an easy way to turn girls off. So I saw a guy do this in Florida about 6 months ago when I was at a social event. I went there by myself and I was talking to these 3 girls that I just met when this guy came over trying to hit on them. And he quickly just started talking about his boat. He pulled up his phone. He started showing them pictures. He said to this one girl, he was like, I can take care of you. And he barely had any time to develop any rapport, get to know them a little bit. He kind of just went straight in for this. And I could see their facial expressions. They weren't liking him at all. There was no attraction. And after he left, I kind of said in a joking way, I was like, oh, that guy's got some great game. What do you rate him 1 to 10? And they were like 2. 1 if he didn't have the boat. So they didn't like him at all. And this is because he was talking too much about himself, which is the lesson here. This is the first way that you're going to turn girls off, is talking about yourself. And this is A tier. The reason it's not S tier is because you do have to talk about yourself to some degree, but if it's done in the right way, it creates a really good personal conversation where you're building rapport, you're building trust, you're getting to know each other. But if you do it like that guy did it, it's just gonna lead to no attraction at all. Girls are gonna be so turned off. And the easiest way to impress other people is to be impressed by them. And now, of course, if they ask you other questions about yourself, you gotta answer them. So this is what I do, is I try and talk to the girls about themselves, get to know them a bit, ask them personal questions, genuinely listen, ask open-ended follow-up questions, and then when they ask me questions back, of course I answer. I don't go on and run on and start rambling, but I answer the question. So you got to learn how to find that unique balance. And sometimes I do talk about myself, and there's times where I do tell a story, and I'm a good communicator. So I do talk. That's why it's A tier. You got to learn how to balance it. So boys, if you want to learn how to start and have great conversations, I made a conversation mastery guide for you, teaching you everything I know, and you can grab that for free now. And this next one, I only really learned in the last year, and it is super valuable, and this is defensiveness. See, defensiveness is never going to help you out when you're talking to girls. And I have a great example from Norway. So I went on a date with this girl, and the night before, she actually canceled on me. It was really late. It was like 1 o'clock. I was out, and she was like, I don't think I can make it tomorrow. So I just said, okay. And then she changed her mind. She was like, you know what, I can make it. And I was like, all right, we'll see you tomorrow then. At the end of the date, which went really well, it lasted 3 hours. We had the best conversation ever that just went on. And we really liked each other. We hit it off instantly. The vibes were immaculate. I said, why did you cancel right before last night? And she was like, well, men are scary. And I just reflected that back to her. And I was just like, you know what? They are pretty scary. And then this opened her up so much. She was like, yeah, oh my God, yeah, they are so scary. Your kind is so scary. We were just joking about it. And it became this like very lighthearted, funny thing. And this can be applied to so many different areas. This is one that's just very obvious. But defensiveness as a whole is never going to help you out. And the more defensive you are, the more insecure you're going to seem, the more you're going to lose the attraction. So defensiveness is S tier. If you're being defensive in your conversation, you're going to lose so much attraction. And the best thing I ever did was start to mirror girls' values, tastes, opinions, beliefs. When they say something that's very emotionally charged, I'll just reflect it back to them. This one girl I was talking to at a festival this last weekend told me that she can't trust any man. And I tried to insert my viewpoint a little bit, but I quickly saw how emotionally charged this was. She was telling me how she recently got hurt. I knew there was no way I was going to convince her out of this, and there was no value in even trying to. So I quickly just adopted her viewpoint and was like, you know what? You can't trust men. And then she opened up so much more because I was able to do that, because I was not defensive. And she even said that when guys are so defensive about things, it's actually a turnoff. So she validated this without me even asking. This was just something that comes to mind now. And this one is so important. This is S tier. You cannot be defensive with girls. And if you have this next thing, it is a huge advantage. And without it, it's a serious detriment. And this is social and emotional intelligence. I was in Norway, and the first girl from the first night that I went out, I was hanging out with her at an after party, and we were talking, I don't remember exactly how, but the conversation of what the most attractive things are, the most attractive traits that a man can possess. And she said by far it is emotional and social intelligence, that the looks are important, but beyond the looks, you really need to be intelligent. Intelligence is something that's going to go so far, and social and emotional intelligence is actually rated one of the highest forms of intelligence. This is something that is so invaluable to every single aspect of your life that you need to develop it. See, when I was younger, I had no emotional and social intelligence. And this was also a major reason why I struggled to have conversations, because I couldn't really think and feel as other people. I had no empathy. I was really struggling to be socially in tune, where now I'm very socially in tune. So it's very easy for me to say the right thing at the right time. I understand female nature, their psychology. I can kind of think and feel as they feel. So it's very easy for me to be very in tune and aligned with them. And this is going to come from having high levels of social and emotional intelligence. And a lack of it is going to be a serious detriment. This is really, really going to set you back. There's nothing worse than being so out of tune, kind of clueless, not being able to connect with someone. That connection is what drives a ton of attraction. And it's going to come through your communicative abilities to really develop rapport, to get to know someone on that deep level as quickly as possible is what's going to drive your attraction through the roof. So a lack of emotional and social intelligence is going to be S tier. You need to have this. There is no way around it. It is absolutely essential. And I want you to think about this next one, because every time I tell this to my coaching clients, it always sparks off a light bulb in their mind. So this is being too uptight and too serious. And I want you to actually think about the last time that you were, let's say at a bar or club, having the best time of your life. You had a smile on, you're, just interacting with everyone in this fun, charismatic way. How was your energy? Were you magnetic? Did you feel like people were drawn to you? Or did you feel like it was really hard to connect with people and make friends and have a good time that night? It probably was, you were magnetic, you were attracting people to you, you're getting the girls, everything went well for you. And this is how it is for me every single time I go out. Every time that I'm a little too serious, I'm a little too uptight, I'm not having the best time, I maybe have a straight face, I'm just drinking, I don't get the girl. Almost never do I get the girl when I'm like that. The nights that I get the girls is when I'm having so much fun, when I'm talking to everybody, guys, girls, I'm just being a charismatic guy, interacting with everyone, having so much fun. This is so important. And this is also going to apply on dates and everything that you do. Being too uptight and serious and being that's not going to drive any attraction. The more loose, the more fun you are, the more you can joke, the more that you're just kind of this fun, magnetic, charismatic personality, you are going to see how much girls are attracted to you. It is day and night. Every time that going out nightclub example is so obvious, where it's like when you're having fun, when you're just being this fun guy, smiling, interacting with everyone you see, those are the nights you get the girls. When you're this serious guy, you got this straight face on, you're just sipping your drink, waiting for the right girl to talk to you, you don't ever get the girl. So this is why being too uptight and serious is B tier. It is something that, it's not detrimental, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is really going to set you back in terms of your attraction. It is going to turn girls off to see you kind of just there straight faced. They want to have a good time. That saying girls want to have fun is so true. And if you're that source of fun, if they can see that you're having fun, they're going to be drawn to you. This next one is a huge turnoff for girls, and that is insecurity. My younger self was always projecting out my insecurities into the world and onto girls, and it is a huge reason for why I turned them off, a big reason for why I got broken up with at 19. And looking back, it's clear as day what I was doing, but back then I didn't realize it, and I just was full of insecurities. So one of the best things you can do as a man is work on reducing your insecurities, work on overcoming them and the limiting beliefs that you have in your mind. This is truly going to set you free and allow you to drive your attraction through the roof. This is why, as a guy who is 5'7", I was able to sleep with a girl who was like 5'11" 2 years ago. She literally said to me too, but the night that I slept with her, we've been getting to know each other, we've been seeing each other out, and the night I slept with her, she's asked me before, she was like, "Don't you care that I'm so much taller than you?" And I just said, "No. Why does it matter?" And I just looked at her and smiled. And that was the night I took her home, and I was like, "You ready to get out of here?" And then she was like, "Yeah," and we literally left right after that. That is how much being secure about yourself will impact your attraction. It is such an attractive thing. If she said, "Do you think I would have slept with her that night?" If she said that, and I was like, "Well, I'm actually not that short." I just started arguing. Back to the defensiveness thing. That's a huge way that you're going to be able to reduce portraying insecurities, is not being defensive. If you're just like, "No, what does it matter?" Smile, laugh, actually don't let it affect you. You don't portray any nonverbal things of being insecure. You're just like, "No, what does it matter? Let's get out of here." And then she's like, okay, I guess he doesn't really give a fuck. Why should I care then? That is literally how it goes. So insecurity is a big one. This is going to be A tier. The more insecurities that you can get rid of, the more attraction you will get from girls. And this last one, some of you guys may have never even thought of, but me having gone through the transformation that I have, constantly pushing my comfort zone, doing things that scare me all the time, this one really stands out to me. And it is a fear-based mindset. There's nothing that's going to turn girls off more than if you are constantly fearful. My younger self was scared of the world, scared of everything, and it really got interpreted in many different ways in the relationship in a negative way. See, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. This statement is a universal truth. So if you interact fearlessly with the world in many different aspects, you're going to interact fearlessly with the world, with girls, and the way that you communicate with them is going to be different. A lot of guys ask me too, like, how am I such a good communicator? And it's because of the way that I live as a whole. These little things that I do get interpreted and picked up in my communicative style that I otherwise couldn't fake. There's nothing that I can do to tell you that's gonna make you better at communicating and being good with girls than to eliminate your fear-based mindset, to develop true levels of courage and confidence. This is just gonna change who you are as a person and how you interact with the world. And this is gonna be massively interpreted by girls, and it's either gonna be a huge turnoff if you're a fear-based mindset type of guy, or if you're just a very courageous, brave individual, it's gonna be picked up. It's just very easy to sense. Like, think about me when I'm out. I'm just out there talking to every single girl. Like, one girl, I just like grabbed her chin and kissed her. Like, I kissed her within 30 seconds this past weekend. Like, I'm always doing this type of stuff. And the way I like interact, the way I hold eye contact, the way I smile, like the little things, they all add up. It's very hard for me to teach this, but you just have to do the things that scare you. Like me going to Norway for a month by myself, knowing absolutely no one, was the only thing I could think of that would push my comfort zone. And it did. I was a little nervous when I got there, but this develops courage, confidence. It pushes me. It makes me a better individual, a better man. And this is going to be portrayed in everything that I do. So it's so important that you get rid of a fear-based mindset. And a fear-based mindset is going to be C tier. Because if you had some good communication, if you pick up my conversation mastery guide, you will be able to get girls. But this is just that last cherry on top that's going to make you all the more attractive. So once again, boys, pick up the conversation mastery guide. This is going to be a huge thing that allows you to start having success with girls, getting your foot in the door. It's completely free. You can go ahead and grab that now.